Hey, this is your girl Ashley. I'm back with another video, and this is about men being abused. So this is a topic that we don't really talk about or touch about a lot in society or just in general, because we feel like men are supposed to just suck everything up and be strong enough to take everything that is given to them, but it is not the truth. This month, if you don't know, is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So I want to talk about the other side of domestic violence with men. Men a lot of times do not talk about how they are abused because, society tells them, don't fight back, or, it doesn't really happen. It's not really true. So then when they pin all this anger up and then they actually do end up erupting, they're like, well, why couldn't you control yourself? Why couldn't you control your emotions? And it's like, and I did a presentation on this when I was in college because I didn't want to do the same thing over and over again. I challenged myself and I looked up, men abuse, and I also work in the Department of Domestic Violence. So it's still true that down there in domestic violence, it's still more men, but still there are men that are getting treated like crap. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still men that get treated like crap just because they're men. You know what I'm saying? They are told not to hit women back, so they don't do anything. And so they end up getting abused by women that feel like they can overpower them, they can do whatever they please. And so they end up beating on this men, like on men. And then, of course, nothing is done about it because the police feel like, well, you're a man. Suck it up. But as a society, we really need to boost men up. Bottom line is, keep your hands to yourself. Stop busting in people's cars. Stop busting their tires. It's literally not worth it to do any or all of it. So we need to uplift men and tell them that they're worth more than what they seem, Not to tell them always to suck it up or not to hit women back, but what steps to do when a woman is pushing them to their limits. Because it don't just have to be physical abuse. A woman can do verbal abuse as well. Tell them that they're not worth anything, that nobody would ever love them, that they are trash, that no one is capable of loving them but them. Like, it's still the same for women, but it can be towards the men as well. And people just need to be a little bit more mindful and keep in mind that men can also be abused. And it's real and it's true. But a lot of them don't want to speak up because they'll be considered a coward or a punk. And they're not a coward. They're not a punk. They're very brave and they're very strong. To overpower, to get through emotional, verbal, physical abuse, just like women. So it just sucks that men aren't treated the same way. They're just like, oh, well, you're a man. Nobody believes you. Nobody believes that you have been abused. You can just overpower her. But society has always told men not to ever hit a woman. So just keep your hands to yourself, point blank, period. And maybe things will change.